Hey, this is Greg Forzani with another Don't Miss the Point of Business video. This is a real don't miss the point one. So, if you're the kind of person that has a great idea and you want to formulate that into a business and you need to go borrow money, chances are you've been to the bank or a lender and they've turned you down. Now, why'd they turn you down? We'll come back to that in a minute. So your next step is you go to someone in your life that has the funds or the money that can lend it to you and fund your great idea. So you go to that person and you go to them because A, you have this great idea that can't fail, and B, they want to help you out in your mind, right? Well, put yourself in their shoes. If you're in their shoes, you'll understand that number one, they probably have this money because they've worked hard and they've earned it, and they don't really want to just kind of let it slip away and lose it. Number two, they're going to want some kind of return on investment. So those are the two things, if you put yourself in their shoes, they're going to want to solve. Well, number one, they want to make sure that you're not going to lose this money. I mean, it's great to have a great idea, but if you don't have a rock solid plan in place, meaning build a budget and you know exactly what the revenue is going to be on what months and how much it's going to be and how much it's going to get to, because you know you've broken that revenue down, you know how many transactions you're going to do, what the average transaction will be, what the increases will be. Like, you actually have some detail and data and thought and planning behind the revenue number. And then you know how much your cost of goods is going to be because you've done some research and you know what the cost of goods and the margins and all those things are for that industry. And you know what your expenses are going to be because you've done the homework and you know you looked at this lease and you shopped around and here's the rates, and you've looked at, you know, whatever other, I need these staff, I need this equipment, etc. These are going to be all the expenses, but you shopped around, you've done the homework. And you built a budget that shows at some point there's going to be a net profit, and then that net profit will grow and it'll grow to something great, and that person will get paid back, and the net profit from that business will pay them back in a certain period of time. You have to know all that stuff. You got to build all that stuff, because without that stuff, if you just walk in and say, well, I got this great idea and it can't fail because I saw this thing on TV, or my friends say this, or I love that, their level of confidence in you succeeding goes way down. You need to show them the plan with all the details, so the level of confidence in you goes way up, and they feel like they're not going to lose this investment, which, by the way, goes back to my initial statement earlier about you probably already been to the bank and the bank turned you down. Why? Because you walked in with an idea on a napkin and said, hey, I need to borrow money, and they asked you a bunch of detailed questions, you didn't have the answers. So it's the same reason, right? Second thing is, this plan or pitch to your friend or person or family member that's going to lend you the money has to show they're going to make a return on investment. What does that look like? Again, it takes planning. You got to budget. You got to budget what that return is going to look like and when they're going to get it, when they're going to get paid back, and then what the return is going to be. So just because you have a great idea doesn't mean somebody's going to lend the money. Put yourself in their shoes. Understand why they'd want to. And a great test, by the way, is to actually go to a bank and try and borrow, because the bank has zero leeway on this. They're going to put you through the ringer on what your plan is. And if the plan's no good, they're going to turn you down. So that tells you what you need to go fix in your plan, what homework you have to do. So a word to the wise. You got to borrow money, put yourself in their shoes. What do they need to see to lend you that money?